Okay, this is Jockeys from Straight Razor Place, and I'm going to demonstrate some shaving technique. First, you begin by applying the lather using circular strokes. Make sure to get it on really thick. In addition to feeling good and smelling nice, this actually serves the useful purpose of making the hairs on your face stand up a little bit straighter and thus a little bit easier to cut because the foam gets trapped underneath them and lifts them up. There we go. Alright, the first pass is going to be with the grain, so pretty much down. Nice light grip on my razor. I tend to like holding it with 3 fingers. A lot of people use 4. I prefer a lighter touch. Anyway, going to want to stretch your skin out. Nice and tight. Now, I'm not shaving all of my face because I have sideburns right now, but the same principles would apply regardless. Just rinsing some of the lather and hair off. Now the other side. Nice and light is the trick. If you press hard at all, you're pressing too hard. It can be tempting press a little bit harder in order to try and get a smoother shave. That's not the best way to do it. That's actually a good way to cut yourself or give yourself some nasty razor burn. There we go. Now the cheeks would be done the same way. The skin would be stretched and just straight down. The upper lip is a little bit trickier. If you see here, what you have to do is go straight in, flat against the nose, and kind of scoop downward. Also in the second pass there, you'll just go side to side. I'm growing a mustache right now, so I won't be doing that. Now for this side, I'm just going to lift up real light, not hard at all. You'll notice I'm using very short strokes. That's on purpose. You don't want to get the razor too loaded, or it won't travel as smoothly. Now again, I'm just going straight down, but I am going to stretch the skin with my other hand. With a sufficiently sharp razor, this won't remove quite all the hair, but it will get you down to about what a 5 o'clock shadow would be. So this is removing the bulk of the hair. As you probably saw earlier, I have a little bit of a stubble, more than usual. It's been about 3 days, so. Now, as you're rounding the point of the chin, and this is one of the trickier parts, you've got to maintain the blade angle of 30 degrees relative to the tangent of your surface. So as you're curving around, you have to curve the razor around to match. And that can be tricky. It takes a lot of practice. Not too bad though. If you do it with a very light touch, there's no reason you should be cutting yourself. I can't stress enough how important it is not to push down hard. Okay, that's the first pass done. Typically I would probably do a couple of passes on the strop between these, but I'm not going to bother with that today. So now it's time to relather. Get a nice even coat there. Okay, now to do across the grain on the cheeks is real easy. Straight across like that, that gets it really close. I don't even usually do an against the grain pass on the cheeks. I don't really find it to be all that necessary. There we are. Okay. Now this one is a little bit trickier. I'm going to do an against the grain pass. Well, no, I'll do across the grain on my lower jaw. So, straight across. Now the chin is kind of tricky to do sideways. A lot of people don't like doing it up. I do it up, some people don't. You want to be real, real light. Just right across like that. And on the point at the chin. Then one more sideways pass right underneath the chin. Keep that nice and light. There should be no discomfort. Yep. Alright, clean this up a little. And I typically do sideways to get down in the crease of my chin too. There we are. Some people do their across the grain that way. It really doesn't matter. That's just depends on you and how your hair grows. There we are. Remember, nice and light touch is the key. There we are. Now, this is going to be a straight against the grain pass rather than across the grain pass on my neck. It's important on this one to open your razor up, and this is what I refer to as the Japanese grip, because the razor's all straight like a Japanese style razor would be rather than bent. And we'll just go up like this. Really, really light touch. Be careful in the crease between your neck and your jawline. Right here, that's the trouble spot. Just keep it nice and light. Makes an awful noise, but I promise it's really very comfortable. Even though it sounds like I'm buttering toast with a rusty knife. And the other side. Okay. Now, some people like doing an against the grain on their face, and that's fine. I don't really have the need for that with the sideburns I have. The next thing is an across the grain on the neck for ultimate smoothness. A lot of people find the hair in their neck doesn't grow straight up or down. Mine, in fact, kind of grows outward. And since you can't do straight sideways like you would on your face, face is easy, just straight sideways. Your neck, not really possible to do with a straight blade. If you had a round blade, you probably could. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do like a normal with the grain pass, but instead of straight, I'm going to kind of do a diagonal. This one, you got to be so careful because you're making a slicing motion. It is not hard to cut yourself this way. So, super light, almost no pressure at all.